Hey guys, Aaron with Roost Marine. It's been about 6 months or so since the last update I gave you guys on the prop breakage issues that we had in 2024, and so I thought it was time to give you a further update because I know that you're curious. I've had a couple folks call and ask, and so I figured I would just do a video for everybody to give you guys updates and let you know what's going on at Roost Marine here. So we are officially at 365 days worth of production with 0 blade breakages, something we can never say, even pre-2024. And so that is a phenomenal place to be. That is exactly where we want to be. So we're going to call this problem fixed. So the Roost does not just randomly break blades anymore, and I am super excited about that because that means it is reliable. Now that said, that leads me to the next announcement, which is when you break blades like that, even if it isn't a small percentage, even when it's small, it's big enough that it makes a big deal. And so the Roost reputation is kind of tarnished because of that. And I know there's quite a few folks out there that I think rightfully so are a bit gun shy about running it again. And so on that note, I'm going to discontinue the Roost. I'm not going to make it anymore. And that's the first reason. The second reason is because I'm going to be launching the Roost Gen 2. And the most notable feature on the Roost Gen 2 is stronger blades. So these blades have been beefed up and they are now 30% stronger than the Gen 1. So even though we fixed the problem in the Gen 1 and we're not breaking them and we've proven it for an entire year's worth of production, I wanted to go ahead and just go above and beyond. So I made the blades 30% stronger so that all of us can have that 110% confidence when we're running wherever we are in the middle of nowhere, that the blades are going to stay attached no matter what we do with it. So there you go. The Roost Gen 2 12 by 11 still got the same geometry as everything else. And then of course, one of the other features of the Gen 2 is what we're calling our Pro Pitch technology, which means that rather than sorting through castings and only taking the good ones and we keep the bad ones, every single propeller gets formed over a pitch block. So that's why it's Pro Pitch. So rather than having to send it off to get it optimized at right at 11 or whatever other pitch you want, in this case obviously these are 11, so these ones get formed over a pitch block, both blades, every single prop, and that just makes it so that blade to blade on one prop you're more consistent, but then also prop to prop you're more consistent. And so far what I have seen is overall performance is just a lot better, a lot more crisp. I feel like it does better with loads. Top speed has shown to be a little bit better. The whole shot seems to be better, and the shallow water capability seems to be better as well. So that's the Roost Gen 2. Now, that's not the end of the announcements. The next announcement is that we have something else that's new, and that is the Roost Gen 2 12 by 10. So we now offer the Roost in a 10 pitch option for you guys. I know that you have been chomping at the bit for this for a long time. I know a lot of guys have been buying the 11s and then sending them off to get them pitched down to 10 because that's what their motor prefers. But now you can get a Roost in 10 pitch straight from the factory. So that's going to save you the $100+ of sending it off and getting it reworked. You can get this at just the regular old Roost prop price. We're not doing anything wonky with the price there. So you'll get just regular Roost price, save you $100, $150, whatever that is, and you'll have a 10 pitch. And this is a Gen 2 as well, so it does have the stronger blades, except in this case, because 10 pitches technically gear down your motor, you can generate more torque with this. So these blades have been beefed up even more than the 30%, and these ones are about 50% stronger than the Gen 1. So very, very strong blades, and of course also featuring Pro Pitch, so every single one of these gets formed over a pitch block so that we get those improved dimensions and of course the performance that comes along with that. So pretty cool stuff going on, but that's not the end of it. I've got yet another announcement, and this is another one that comes from customer feedback that we've gotten, and that is we're going to be introducing a new version of each one of these, the 12 by 10 and the 12 by 11, and it's going to be called the Roost Pro. And what this is going to be is a prop that goes through our SR process. We call that the sand resistant process. So it's just a hardening process that we do that takes that prop up to 40 Rockwell C. So if you're used to running a regular hardened prop, some of the other hardened props out there were going to be the same hardness as that. So this is going to minimize the rippling and scalloping effect that you get and just the general wear overall. is going to be reduced by a substantial amount. So this was really geared around requests that we'd gotten from some professionals as well as some of the more hardcore users. There were questions, is there any way that you can make it last longer? I love how long it lasts, but can you make it last longer? And so the answer is yes, we can harden it like other hard props. And so that's exactly what we did. So you're going to get extra life out of this prop. It's going to save you even more money than what the other Roost does, and it's going to keep you on the water a heck of a lot longer, especially if you find yourself as a professional where you're putting just so many hours and your livelihood depends on being able to run that prop hard. But it also works well for you guys out there. This is another customer feedback thing. I've had a couple different customers that have made it known, they'll say something to the effect of, well, now that I know what it's capable of, I find myself pushing it a lot harder than I ever pushed any other prop before, and so it's kind of wearing out a little quicker than I'd like. So this is an option for you guys who really, really like to thrash, or maybe not like to thrash it, but you just need to. You're running in nasty shell beds and sandbars and stuff like that. It's just hard on any prop, and you're just trying to get absolute maximum life while you're pushing the prop to the max. The Roost Pro is going to be exactly what you want, and that's going to give you that extra life. So those are the announcements that we've got. We've got a lot of different options for you guys. I hope you appreciate it, and certainly going to be continuing to listen to your guys' feedback and make the changes that you guys want to see happen, because after all, that's why I'm here, is to serve you guys and give you guys the best possible mud prop that I can. So I hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll see you on the next one.